Welcome to Two Tangle Tuesday, where we do two tangles in 20 minutes or less. Today, we are going to be doing a tangle called Disco and also Damsel Leaf. What I'm going to do is make an orb. Okay. Now, Disco has an orb in it, but it's completely out of order. You put the orb in at the end. So I'll show you the order that you go in now. So you start Disco with a line and then an orb at the top colored in. And then you make a C shape. Then you make an S shape. And then you put your orb in. Okay, that's how Disco is normally done. But since we're making it into a flower, our flower is going to share this orb. So that's why I did that first. Okay. And so now what we're going to do with Disco is we're going to aura it. So that's why we have kind of these spaces here. So we're going to aura that. Okay, and now we're going to aura the other side. And you can't go all the way down with the S sides, but that's okay. We're still going to aura that. All right, and over here I was able to make an aura. Okay, so we got these little 4 flowers. I'm going to add in, you can put another aura if you got room. I'm going to add in some other little lines with dots, kind of dainty ones. I like to put my auras in first in case I don't have room. Now, there's like this weird, like, kind of space in here, kind of not space in here. You can kind of just ink that in if you want to. I'm not going to bother because I just have one side with the weird space. Okay, so let's build our flower a little bit more. So I want to add some petals, but I'm not going to add really like a whole petal. So I'm not going to worry about the orb. So here's my line with my circle, and then you can pretend it came out here, and the C is going to be there, and the S will be there. Okay. And this one I'm going to aura on the inside and this S on the outside, just for ease. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to have just a little bit of a petal. And then the C going behind and the S as well. Okay. All right, so I think that I'm gonna put these little things in here like I did on the other ones. And you could just keep growing this flower. So, but I'm gonna stop right there and I'm gonna add a couple of things to it. I'm going to add an orb in each little corner. I know our Zentangle philosophy is when in doubt, aura, but I think we should add orb. That would be hard to say. All right, I'm gonna get my smaller pen. And I'm gonna put some flicks up here at the top. All right, I think that adds to it a little bit. And now I think I'm gonna add something else. So I'm gonna do it with this one, I think. So I want to add some damsel flowers. So I don't know if you've ever seen a damsel flower, but it kind of goes like this. And it ends in a fescue, and that fescue gets colored in, right? And then next to it, we make like a little, very thin, well, I guess it could be big, but I'm making a thin, almost crescent moon. And you color that in. And then you make an aura like that, okay? And then you mirror that shape. All right, I think a couple of those look kind of neat on my little flower here. So let's see, I'm gonna put one going this way. I'm going to put one, I think, coming off of the same. What if I put one coming off of the top? I think I'm going to do that. Nope, over here. And then maybe a couple more, just because they're fun. And we'll make one that comes out here. Alright, and then we'll have one more maybe that comes out from here, goes like that. I didn't mean to use this small pen, it's what I had in my hand, but sometimes coloring in the dark parts aren't the easiest thing to do with this really tiny pen. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it at that. And I am going to shade, because I could really make damsel flower all day long. I think it's such a cool tangle. It's it's really, really fun, and I enjoy it. So that's why I added it to this. Okay, so plus I think it looks cool. All right, so let's do some shading. So I don't want to put a lot of pencil on here because, well, first of all, what I'm going to do is take my pen and just outline this just to make it a little bit smaller and darker on the middle. All right, and then I'm going to put just a little tiny bit up here where we had those little wisps. Okay. And then I'm just gonna spread it out the smallest bit with my tortilla. I don't want to cover that whole entire petal. Just really darkening the top area. All right, and that looks cute. You put a little more if you wanted to make sure that you darken that top part. You know, damsel flower, I don't think really needs a whole lot of shading, but if you wanted to, you could just kind of put some around one or two of these little leaves with whatever's left on your tortilla. I don't think it's really necessary. Okay, and then the other last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to make these orbs outlines a little bit thicker to kind of match the middle. And then I'm going to stop playing with it, I promise. Okay, and that is my disco turned into a flower with some damsel leaf to go with it.